All right, you know what time it is. Nihorana Rock Doc here with a story. Carole King, one of the most successful female singer-songwriters of all time, celebrated her 80th birthday this past week. Another one in their 80s. Okay, and today I thought I would tell you a few things about Carole King that you might not know. And as usual, a little background first. All right. King was born Carol Klein to Jewish parents and grew up in Brooklyn, New York, just like me. Now, her mother had learned to play piano as a child and would sometimes practice. And at the age of 3, Carol developed an insatiable curiosity about music. So her mother began teaching her basic piano skills. Now, a year later, Carol's parents realized that Carol had perfect pitch. So they started to give her real music lessons. Okay. Now, by the time King went to James Madison High School, she was already, as you can imagine, an accomplished pianist. And she had started writing songs and making demos with another neighborhood high school friend by the name of Paul Simon. And a few years later, when she began classes at Queens College, she met future songwriting partner Jerry Goffin. The two got married, quit college, took day jobs, and wrote songs together at night. And of course, they were part of the famous Brill Building Songwriting Collective, if you would call it that. Yeah, the Brill Building in New York was a building around Broadway and I think 58th Street, 48th, I don't know. It's somewhere in that general vicinity. I've been there many times, I should know. But at any rate, it was a real music building with all kinds of songwriters and all kinds of music publishers and record companies. And I wasn't there in those days, but it must have been quite a place. All right. Now, their first #1 hit song they wrote for a group called the Shirelles, which was the first all African-American female group. And the name of the song was, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? And I'm sure people around my age remember that song. Dozens of hits followed, and many of the songs Goffin and King wrote have become part of music legend, including Take Good Care of My Baby, The Locomotion. And then The Locomotion is a funny story about that. They wrote the song and they actually gave it to their babysitter, Little Eva, who recorded it and made it a hit. All right. Up on the Roof, The Drifters, One Fine Day, I'm Into Something Good, which I think the Monkees did, and Don't Bring Me Down. I mean, their list goes on and on and on. All right. Now, by 1968, Goffin and King were divorced, and Carol moved to another hotbed of songwriters, Laurel Canyon in California. And there she met Joni Mitchell and James Taylor, and you know what was going on in Laurel Canyon. There are a couple of movies about that scene that are quite good. Now, Carol still considered herself a songwriter and never really had much of a desire to be out front. But that all changed one night while she was playing piano in James Taylor's backup band. And James insisted and coaxed Carol to be out front with him and sing one of her songs with him. All right. Later on, King was signed to Lou Adler's record label as a solo artist. Lou Adler, another incredibly interesting guy, one of the early guys. He had a lot to do with the first Monterey Pop Festival. Again, you could look him up. Interesting dude. And although her first album, Rider, only made it to number 84 on the Billboard chart, her next album, Tapestry, was an instant success with numerous hit singles. Now, Tapestry held the #1 spot for 15 consecutive weeks, remained on the charts for nearly 6 years, and has sold over 25 million copies worldwide, right? Now, one of the great songs from the album, of course, is You've Got a Friend. And according to Carol, the song was as close to pure inspiration as I've ever experienced. The song wrote itself. It was written by something outside myself, through me. Dozens of other artists have recorded the song over the years, including the version by James Taylor, which went to #1. And I've talked many times about how great songs come through great songwriters, as if they tap into this collective unconscious and they're the ones who just bring it out. All right. Now, the album Tapestry garnered 4 Grammys, including Album of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Performance. For a female, Record of the Year was It's Too Late, and Song of the Year, with King becoming the first woman to win the award, and that was for You've Got a Friend. In addition, the song It's Too Late was number 469 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. King has made a total of 25 solo albums. She's won 4 Grammys. She was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she was the recipient of the 2013 Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for a popular song. She's also been honored with a Kennedy Center Award, and it goes on and on. The great Carole King, hopefully she'll be around a lot longer, and we have all that great Carole King music to listen to, and that's my story. All right, that's my story for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have another story for you tomorrow, more during the week. You know where to find me around the internet. iHeartRadio, Saturday and Sunday, 3 o'clock. WDST, Radio Woodstock. All right, that's it. As I always like to tell you, always remember to keep on rocking, and I'll see you somewhere real soon. All right, bye for now.